What's up everyone, Jay here back with another video. I hope everyone is having an awesome day. Welcome to my channel where I upload a new video every week. So if you guys are new here, be sure to click that subscribe button. So today, I kind of wanted to go over 5 reasons why a new rider should, as in you don't have to, but you should start out on a smaller displacement motorcycle. Now let me just start out by saying that there is no such thing as a quote-unquote beginner bike. However, there are a set of bikes that most experienced riders will suggest that you start out on, and that's all for very good reasons. But whatever motorcycle you choose to start out on is your personal preference, because at the end of the day, you're going to make the decision that you feel is best for you. Now, I personally kind of sort of, learned the hard way. Not that anything terribly bad happened to me, but after owning an R3 for the past couple months as like a second motorcycle, now I realize why, it's so important for most new riders to start out on a smaller bike. Now, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love my MT-09, but I do find myself riding the R3 quite a bit lately, just because I feel like there's so much to learn on it, and it's such a fun bike. Now, these 5 reasons are in no particular order, so the order in which they come out is, just the order that I happen to think of them in. To kick things off, we're going to start off on reason number 5, which is price. Smaller displacement motorcycles, whether they're new or used, are always going to be your least expensive option. Getting into motorcycles, is already a pretty expensive endeavor, so starting with something small like a Ninja 400, a Rebel 300, or an MT-03 will greatly reduce your initial investment. And I did say MT-03, so for all of you that love the look of a naked bike, the 2020 MT-03 will be available in the US. Also, the great thing about this time of year is most dealerships are trying to push out the previous year's inventory, so you could probably score a really awesome deal on a new motorcycle. For instance, the R3 that I own, 2019 R3, was marked down $1,300 because the dealership just wanted it gone. And I'm sure there's a ton of deals like that going on right now. And God forbid, for some crazy reason you start riding and decide you don't like it. Not sure why that would happen, but it's possible. Then you're not stuck with, an $11, $12, $13,000 motorcycle that you have to get rid of and possibly take a huge hit on. You could possibly, also get a great deal on Facebook or Craigslist, but just be aware when going that route, because as a new rider, I'm sure you'd rather spend a lot more time learning to ride than you would learning how to fix motorcycles, because with those bikes you never know what you're going to get. Reason number 4, they are less intimidating. For a lot of new riders, getting on 2 wheels with absolutely no protection around you other than the gear you're wearing, it's already going to be a little scary. So because smaller bikes are lighter and they have less power, they're a lot less likely to scare someone away from riding. It's a lot easier to crack the throttle wide open on a smaller bike without that instant feeling like you just made a huge mistake. Because almost always, when you go wide open throttle on a smaller displacement bike, nothing crazy or bad is really going to happen. Not to say that it won't, but it's a lot less likely. Because a lot of the bigger bikes, they're very unforgiving, and it's not hard to let one of those get away from you. Reason number 3, they are easier to handle and maneuver. Now let's just face it, the smaller motorcycles are almost always going to be lighter, which makes them so much easier to handle, so much easier to maneuver, and it's going to make you feel more in control of the motorcycle. The more in control you feel when you're riding, the more likely you are to enjoy learning. Nobody wants to feel like they constantly have to fight the motorcycle because it's so heavy. The smaller motorcycles, they take a lot less effort to turn, they're a lot more flickable, and it makes them so much fun, especially on curvy roads. And because they are lighter, then in that unlikely event that you happen to drop or lay down your precious new motorcycle, then you're able to at least pick it up by yourself. Because tipping over a motorcycle, when there's no one around to help you get it back up, well, it just sucks. Reason number 2, on the smaller motorcycles, I just feel like you will learn so much more, so much faster. It's kind of a little challenging to break this one down because, even a new rider learning on a bigger motorcycle, they're going to feel like they're learning a ton. That is until you transition from a big bike to a smaller bike. Then you kind of start to see where your skills are lacking. Because smaller motorcycles are lighter, they react a lot more to every input in every movement of your body. There's so much more feedback on a smaller motorcycle. You feel everything more. You feel the wind, every bump in the road, everything. So much more than you do on a heavier motorcycle. It's a lot easier to see where your body's out of balance or where your balance is lacking on a smaller motorcycle. Because on a heavier motorcycle, especially once you start moving and get some momentum, the heavier bikes are a lot less sensitive to your body inputs. You don't feel everything as much. So they kind of, mask or hide your inefficiencies as a new rider. So I hope that kind of makes sense to y'all. If any of you experienced riders out there kind of know what I'm trying to say, please chime in the comment sections. Help me out. I would definitely appreciate the input, guys. And reason number one, they are fun, guys. Smaller motorcycles, I don't care what anyone says, they are so much fun to ride. Like I said, I bought an MT-09 as my first motorcycle because I was afraid, I wouldn't have fun on something small like an R3 or a Ninja 400, but I was so wrong. And again, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love my MT-09, but like I said before, I do find myself riding the R3 a lot lately just because it's so much fun. And something else that I've learned, this past year riding, is that almost everyone that talks crap about the smaller motorcycles has never even been on one. So hopefully if you're watching this video, y'all, it's because you're thinking about getting into motorcycles, or maybe even, you want to transition down to a smaller motorcycle. Just know that I want everyone that decides to start riding to enjoy learning, and to be as safe as they can be so they can fall in love with motorcycles. And if you do choose to start out on a smaller motorcycle, you're making a great decision. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Do what's best for you and what's going to benefit you the most in the long run. I hope everyone enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate you so much. Be safe out there, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.